You don't joke with God. People say that all the time. But on one particular night, those words crossed a line, from simple warning to divine judgment. 5 brilliant young scientists, one moment of arrogance, and a single sentence that should never have been said. Before we dive into this story, go ahead and hit the like button and drop a comment telling us where you're watching from. Your engagement helps this message reach more people who need to hear it. It was a humid night in Houston, Texas. 5 young researchers were leaving a NASA-affiliated lab, thrilled with the results of their latest aerospace experiment. Among them was a 15-year-old prodigy, new to the team but already proving himself invaluable. The energy was electric. Music blared from the car, drinks flowed, and laughter echoed into the night. Standing at the edge of the parking lot was Elon Musk. He had personally mentored the group, funding their project and guiding them through months of trial and error. He watched them pile into the car, a faint smile on his face. But something behind his eyes betrayed a different feeling. As the engine revved, Elon walked over, placed a hand on one of their shoulders, and said quietly, "Go with God." The group burst out laughing. One of them rolled down the window and shouted, "Only if he rides in the trunk, 'cause we're packed up front." They sped off into the night, tires screeching. Elon stood still, eyes locked on the horizon. Something in him shifted, but the mind of a scientist often silences the whispers of the soul. Minutes later, on a long, curved stretch of road, the driver lost control. The vehicle slammed into a concrete pillar. The impact tore the car in half. Metal, glass, notebooks scattered across the highway. Not one of them survived. Emergency responders arrived quickly, used to scenes like this. But what they found that night brought them to their knees. The car was shredded, mangled beyond recognition, burned, broken, crushed. But the trunk, untouched. Inside was a carton of 34 eggs, every single one unbroken, not a crack. The firefighters stood in stunned silence. Some wept. One whispered, "That's where he chose to stay." No photos were taken, no official report mentioned it, just unspoken reverence and awe. Hours later, Elon Musk was in a closed-door meeting with investors when his phone rang. He answered, listened, and then said nothing. He slowly dropped to his knees, right there in the boardroom, and began to pray, quietly, visibly shaken. He didn't need the details. He already knew. He remembered what had been said, and he knew that God had heard it. Later, security footage from the lab parking lot was reviewed. The audio was faint, but one sentence was crystal clear. "Only if he rides in the trunk." The carton of eggs, still in custody with forensic analysts. No scientific explanation, no logical pattern. Just a moment frozen in time, a warning written in silence. Because what happened that night wasn't random, it was a reminder. Do not be deceived. God is not mocked. For whatever a man sows, that he will also reap. If this story stirred something inside you, subscribe now to Historias de Poder. Here, we share the moments that shake the soul and remind us what truly matters. You didn't find this story by accident. Maybe it found you.